Hey there, folks, and welcome back to another Factorio Reddit Weekly. I'm Exterminator, and thank you for joining me again today. We are checking out the last post for the previous week, sorted by top. It looks like there may be a couple we saw last week, or maybe I looked at these on my own. I can honestly never remember which is which on some of these, but let's go ahead and just jump right on in here. I think playing Factorio just got me an internship at the Toronto Transit Commission. Oh my god, this this is so freaking cool. This is true. So they go on to say they recently finished Factorio for the first time in late February, and wow, what a great experience! It was basically all I could think of for a month straight. A big part of that was my train system, which I found very satisfying to put together to have it run automatically. They applied to the internship to my university's co-op program. The position was for a signals engineer assistant. Basically, they'd be maintaining the software that's used by the trains to understand where they are in relation to other trains, so allows the system to run at peak efficiency while ensuring that trains never crash into each other. Sounds familiar. Yeah, I was thinking the same thing. When I was doing some prep for the interview, I began to research the different methods of train control, and I found this wiki article, Railway Signaling, that describes various methods that have been used over the years. I learned that what the trains Factorio use is essentially a fixed block design, in which the rail signals are fixed in place and divide the rails into multiple blocks. So in their interview, they were able to mention that I actually had some experience with fixed block design from Factorio, and they seemed really surprised about that. They said most people had the requisite coding knowledge, but experience with design of the signal system themselves was rare. They said that in real life they mostly use what's called a moving block design, in which the defined blocks of the system are fluid and are constantly moving in reaction to the train. Given the fact that I found Factorio's system to be complex at first, I can't even imagine what the game would be like added to the complexity of moving blocks. And we went well, and a couple weeks later I got the offer, so thanks Factorio, I think you actually got me my first engineering position. That is freaking awesome. Oh my god. No disrespect to Factorio, but I think your hard work and dedication got you the intern. Well, yes, probably, but the fact that Factorio at least tied in some regard is pretty awesome. You could say Factorio's blocks are liquid too. Trains reserve ahead of themselves a number of blocks relative to their braking speed. I did not know this, actually, that it was relative to their braking speed. It's actually pretty cool. And that's really awesome. Run, Forrest, run! Oh my god, this is... oh, oh man, that's so great. I love it. This is done. Yeah, yeah. I'll do this is the best use of the tank. Now make the Spidertron. Yeah, there you go. Make the Spidertron. Can Biders read? Go away, go away, go away. They probably can read, but the issue here is that from their point of view, it's just a giant stone wall, only to be read from an aerial view. It's a good point. Yeah, from their point of view, it's just like broken up wall segments. Like patch flying biters. I do wish there was more variety of biters. That would be pretty cool. My first fish farm. Yeah, so if you didn't know, you can fish with inserters. I like the use of long-handed and underground belts too. Just maximum fishing efficiency there. Just max out the possible, FPM, fish per minute. Has anyone made a mod yet that allows you to throw a clip explosive into a random patch of water and obtain several fish? That would be pretty cool. The Death World is for the weak. Try to face this. What the actual heck? Come again? This is a modest scenario. A player has to survive biters and enemy fortress attacks. The enemy fortress sends a few military vehicles to player's destination every 20 minutes. Kill them. Scenario requires a programmed vehicle mod and rampant arsenal. I'd love to see sort of fortified outposts like this being randomly generated, or maybe even self-expanding from a single landing vehicle. Like Biter expand their base, but a full fortress of robots and walls. So this is really cool. This might be a fun little scenario. Like if I finish my current stream playthrough before the next one's ready, something like this could be a lot of fun. This is really neat. Maybe save that. Some map art I made for my depleted uranium dump. Danger, toxic waste. Nice. This place is not a place of honor. This is why you automate everything. I mean, yeah, I'd say circuits are a pretty common thing to be automating. You've been handcrafting all these modules, oh dear. But yeah, handcrafting the circuits is the painful part of this. I mean, I've handcrafted my fair share of modules, like for power armor, but never the circuits too, I don't think. Genuine lazy bastard achievement. Why create new factories when you can just handcraft almost everything? How do you handcraft the blue circuits? You drink the acid. Oh my goodness. Compact rocket silo factory, in-game materials, 1 rocket per hour, 29 by 15 tiles. I was expecting this to be Dave McW post. 1 rocket per hour from this. So this is very similar. This is like the same thing Dave McW's done. I don't know. I think his is still smaller. Definitely smaller. I think his is like 9 by 13 or something like that. I don't remember the exact size. You can correct me. But yeah, so this is really cool because basically like switches up production stuff. I believe based on what's needed. This is really really cool. Actually, I don't think it switches anything. This is just everything needed to make it. This very very cool here. This type of stuff. Oh, I wanted to look at the comments for this. This type of stuff is just fascinating to me. 1 rocket per hour isn't much. The fact it's done in that little tiny space is impressive. Yeah, exactly. I mean, that's what's impressive about it, obviously, is the space confinement. When you are bored and end up spending a few hours designing rails. Oh, man. Now, that reminds me of my old test maps. Definitely a test map if I've ever seen one. Look at all these different rail designs. Holy cow. And even designing like what they'd be kind of like within a city block, that's pretty cool. Oh man, look at this junction. Wow. That's a beast of a junction. Same with this one. Some of these junctions are nuts. Design an LCD screen to display number of items in my factory. Iron plate, 73%, 730,812. I'm gonna assume that LC is LCD here stands for Lambda Combinator. Yes. It's actually brilliant. I didn't even think of that. I wanted a cool way to display how many items were in the factory, so I went about designing LCD screen that is mostly vanilla. I do have a mod that adds more signals, which I need to handle a larger screen. The smaller screen has 128 possible characters. Font of 5 by 8. Use bit shifting. 4,000 hours, and I wouldn't know where to start with this. Same. Same here. Automated nuclear defense. Ah, I absolutely love this. I know what I know what it is, and I love it. It didn't kill all of them though. Some made it through. Oh man. So yeah, when nuclear reactors, they need to be fully heated as well. When fully heated nuclear reactors die, they create a nuclear explosion as if you launched a nuke. So pretty freaking cool. You could create a giant chain reaction. Most expensive mine ever. In true Factorio fashion, I'd say. Nobody's even mentioning the absolute mad lad splitters that survived 2 nukes to the face. They are beefed up cockroaches after all. That's very true. Sounds expensive. I mean, yeah, I think that's the spirit of Factorio, right? It's completely unnecessary, but I think that's almost a reason to do it. Less expensive than having them overrun your rock production. That is very true. A sense of disturbance in the forest as a million spiders and spiders cried out and were suddenly silenced. Except for the ones that weren't. They kept crying out. Yeah, I mean, 2 of these guys somehow snuck through. There's are some lucky spitters there. Off-grid outpost, solar with turbine backup in a death world. Oh, man. Check this out. Love the dragon's teeth. See some other pictures here. Flamethrowers, of course. Flamethrowers are insanely good. Really, really need flamethrowers. You can store steam. Indeed, you can. That's actually using quite a few nuclear designs. My first bus, finally, but still work in progress. So, quick tip. This is what we call a fake 4-lane. If you do plan to expand past this, I think it's okay to do something like this. Like if you absolutely have plans to add 4 things, but and I used to do this a long time ago, so I think it's just kind of something that people do. But setting up 4 lanes, all fed from 1 lane, is kind of a huge waste and pointless. Like if you plan to have 4 lanes of each, definitely leave room for the 4. But there's really no point in creating 4 lanes all from 1 lane like this, because you're still obviously only getting the throughput of 1 lane. So you're building all these belts and then like having to do these more advanced split offs and stuff every time you want something. Even though you might as well just have the 1 belt running down and then just split from that. This is why these things aren't really that good. So yeah, that's just a quick mention there. Otherwise, doing good. Just I think you'd save a lot of resources and time and headache by just having the 1 lane, and just make sure you leave room for 4 lanes or however many you want. But there's really no need to place them all and like just create a fake amount of them essentially from just 1. Anyone who plays Factorio can totally relate to the current chip shortage in the news. Need more iron, need more greens, need more reds, need more. Yeah, I think there's a lot of space in Sahara for more assembly, and we can pump out Mediterranean Sea to get some resources. Sell C block mods into economy, we can make chips from the Mediterranean. There you go. Can't forget that in order to make the machines to have more factories to make more chips, we need more chips. Bootstrapping at its finest. That's basically Factorio in a nutshell. You need more, like, the thing you're missing, you need more of to make more of the thing you're missing. Factorio for free! My mom said last winter that if I showed interest in Factorio still at the end of the school year, she'll buy it for me. I've now played the tutorial for Factorio in depth 4 times. I found every secret and maxed out every base. Nice. That's not free. You worked hard for that. Sounds like you have a good mom. Sounds like you're a good kid. Found the game. Literally one of the best games ever in this content. Wise move from your mom to wait until the end of school year. Congrats on pulling through the long wait. I hope it lives up to your expectations and more. I mean, it's the end of the school year in the U.S. But yeah, other places maybe not. Definitely, like I said, wise of their mom to wait until school's over. Otherwise, that could cause some problems. I think I have a problem with my energy. Oh dear. Admittedly, this is a super cool looking graph. I will say that much. But yeah, you might have some problems there. Is your steam power in a circuit that reaches accumulator charge but doesn't have a latch circuit to keep the steam power being used for a long time? Yes. Then get your latch in place. Update. Modding Factorio for education is possible. So, can't really read this whole thing, but I love the general idea of Factorio as an educational tool, and trading question scenario seems really good for it. I mean, I basically always said that Factorio would be a really cool learning tool. Obviously, modding would be as well for Factorio, but I think even just playing the game could be used as a great learning tool. I know they use Minecraft in education sometimes for like creativity and stuff like that. I think you could definitely take advantage of Factorio in education. Let's go to war. Oh, that's loud. I apologize. Okay. And now, this would be even more hilarious if it were nukes. Of course, if it were nukes, you probably wouldn't survive the combat, but my bot shall blot out the sun. More like your rockets. Excuse me. That's a weird looking McDonald's. There's the Wendy's. Come, my children, blacken the ground with your wrath, wet it with your fury in the blood of the bugs. It's been almost 2 weeks since I bought the game. Since then, I put in 35 hours, and if I convinced 2 other friends to get the game, my base is a mess, but it works. And that right there is the important part. If it works, then it's good. Messy base can be fun. It actually is a talent to have a fully functioning messy base. It's all about enjoying yourself. This is an excellent comment right here. Yeah, it's a talent. It really is a talent to have a messy base that actually works. Now, to what degree it works is maybe questionable, but 25,000 construction bots activated after misplacing a roboport. Oh, these poor robots in your poor game. 25 ready with, well, more than 1 million on the way, or 100,000 on the way. Magnificent, aren't they? I love the Star Wars references. Factorial lesson 436,852. Redundancies prevent having a single point of failure. Oh, hey, that's also Factorial lesson 21,688 and 180,693. Oh my god. I just started playing Factorial on my first machine after 11 hours. Wait, you've been telling me you've been handcrafting this whole time? Well, for the first 10 hours? You're just scratching the surface. I would start thinking about automating your smelting next. Smelting set up local to your ore patches with coal being fed in for smelting. Then you can feed the iron copper straight into your factory. Yeah, having some sort of automated smelting, like a local, a centralized one, would be very good. It is kind of hard when you start to, you know, get the concept down of needing to automate everything. At least I struggled with this when I first started. It's just the thought of automating basically everything, at least all the main products for science and stuff, is it's kind of a hurdle. So I was wondering why my green circuits weren't being made. Well, yeah, right? If only gears were used in green circuits. Automation, the ability to make one little mistake into a giant mess with little or no effort. CPUs fascinate me in that way. Imagine CPUs process data with 99.99 accuracy. A CPU operating at 5 GHz would do 5 billion cycles a second. Assuming one operation per cycle, you get 50,000 errors a second. 50,000 errors per second. Crazy low tolerance and stuff like that makes me wonder how far human engineering has come from simple pulleys and wheels. So some number crunching for the Ryzen Threadripper. $588 quintillion operation, no mistakes, every bit correct. Does anyone remember the Pentium division bug? Oh my lord. Okay, that is insane. Rule 5 explanation, I'm a moron to reverse all the copper and iron, and it's also supposed to be wires, not gears. Oh, I actually didn't realize they reversed the iron and copper. Oh, but they did. Because even if this were copper wires, it would be the wrong resource. Ha! Oh man, double mistake. I think I didn't notice because my mind was like, oh, iron for gears? Okay, that's right. And then, I mean, obviously I noticed that gears are wrong, but I didn't realize that even if you change it the correct recipe, the resource would be wrong. Nuclear times 8 reactor design, 1.12 gigawatts. Sure, 1.21. 1.21 gigawatts. Is this really compact? Also, I like the fact there's no Steam storage. You guys know how I feel about that. And this is about as compact as you can get it, I think. Very creative as well with the turbines here. How they've like staggered them like this. This is really quite well done. So that's adding a single reactor to it and having the output be on 1.24 gigawatts. That should be enough for the 21 gigawatt requirement for time travel. Yes. So glad I'm not the other one who thought this. Sure, in the year 2015 they sell refined plutonium at every pharmacy, but this is 1988. One of the few years they didn't go to. Every year they visited India with 5. 1955, 1985, 2015. I love how also, like, I mean, this is just how movies work, you know, but I love how when they made that, they made the year 2015 be, like, super, I mean, like, obviously 2015 was 6 years ago, and there was absolutely nothing like 2015 in the movie. Like, it was a movie, but it's just funny how they're like, oh yeah, 2015, this is the future, there's flying cars and stuff. No, not even remotely close. No pumps, check. Built on water, check. Proper looping conveyor, check. And I would say no steam storage, check. Joseph 2, first long-term run and blueprints. Ah, nice. So here we go. I don't know if it's Joseph or Yosef. I apologize if I'm pronouncing it wrong. Hopefully at least one of those is correct. But yeah, this is like the self-expanding factory we've looked at last few weeks. Pretty incredible stuff, honestly. I did mention I would be interested in seeing this like in the map. And the creator of this actually commented on my Reddit video about that and made a very good point that I was dumb and didn't consider. All these things that they're showing are super sped up, so like actually seeing this in world would not really be that entertaining because it would be, you know, like a tenth of the speed or something. Overall though, this is just so cool. Stuff that goes way above my head. You have achieved peak Factorio, you have automated playing Factorio, Factorio plays Factorio now. Might as well close the sub down. You have asked yourself if you could, but have you stopped and asked yourself if you should? Some needs to stay open until there's a self-expanding factory that builds self-expanding factories that build self-expanding factories. At least that's what Joseph told me he wants. Oh dear. Getting a little Skynet vibe here. I have no idea how this functions correctly, but I love it because it's mine. Oh wow. That's a lot of like, it's a lot of loops. It's a lot of loop things. So, look at all the squiggly line. Wait, no, okay, this comes this way. And then, and then, wait, what? Okay, now I'm confused. Okay, I think I see. I mean, some of this is kind of smart, but wow, this is ridiculous. And they're storing copper cable in the boxes. You're also a rip science pack on the ground. Might want to pick that up. Why does, but you could? Oh, never mind. It's fine. This is just exactly my thought. I'm like, what the hell is going on here? What? Oh, never mind. Iron glaze blisters. Why we make our own blueprints? We love it because it is ours. Exactly. Exactly. It may be wonky and absurd, but it is yours. And that's what's important. Try to design a balancer from scratch. I mean, you did better than me. I don't have a clue how to design a balancer from scratch. Doing it on paper, I think, is pretty neat. It would probably make it easier for me if I did that as well. Would this game be fun as two-player co-op for two noobs? I mean, yeah. Two new players can build twice as much spaghetti as one, or you can find you have complementing interests. One can build a base while the other works on defenses. The two of you like this type of game. It's incredibly fun to learn with a friend. Don't look up how to do anything. Go in blind. Just enjoy discovering how everything works. This is the correct answer. Factory must grow. Tinkering type, whereas I just enjoy sinking my teeth into a game with deep mechanics. Yes. It sounds like they're going to have a blast. So definitely enjoy it. Should be a lot of fun. Anyway, guys, that's going to do it for this one, I believe. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, a like is also appreciated. If you're new to the channel, feel free to subscribe to keep up with all the content. I'd love to hear your thoughts down below as always. And until next time, I look forward to seeing you all, and do take care.